Hey, good day, everybody. Welcome to Streaming Card Consciousness, episode 51. Today, we are joined not only by my good friend, my brother up in the Panhandle, Greg Smith, but also special guest Andrew Cravotta. Really excited for the show today.
Hey
Abs-
guys, great to see you.
Hey
And
Andrew, how's it going, man? It's been a long time. We should have probably had you on here before
I,
before
I,
now, but we're here now and we got some stuff to talk about. Man, I'm doing great, and I'll Mark, I'll let you get into what you're up to here shortly. But I'm like a kid on Christmas morning right now. We're coming off the bye week. It's a must-win game for Miami. I'm raring to go. So we got about 2 hours to get this done, and I need to go get my tiki set up and my autographed jersey and wear my beads. And I got my new rugby jersey that
oh,
I've got
nice.
that my cousin got me from Orlando. So, man, I'm ready. Let's go. So, Mark,
You ready?
How you doing, man?
oh, I'm good. I am very going to watch Amari Cooper today and, watch the Bills stumble around with the Titans because that just seems to happen against the lesser teams. They got a good defense, but I expect them to win. And, I got the 50 pounds of tonnage that I was going through, so that we'll get into that a little bit later.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I've got my Mets with a must-win back to the
Yeah.
wall game tonight, repping my team right here. You know
Yeah.
that. So very excited, nervous, but also guarded optimism, I'll say. As a Met fan, I know not to get too excited and get my hopes up on anything. A lifetime of misery has prepared me for, so being a Met fan has.
Oh, you guys have a championship, and I mean, I've got a love hate relationship with the Mets. I lived in St. Pete when in the '80s, and they trained down there, so we got to see like the whole Sid Finch thing, and Dwight Gooden. Dwight Gooden was really cool, actually. Strawberry was kind of a jerk, but Gooden and Gary Carter were really cool to us kids.
Yeah.
And '86, I should hate the Mets, but I don't. So I'd
Uh,
rather. I don't know, man. It's hard to root against Otani going to the World Series, but we'll see. Hopefully, it'll be a good game tonight. And then you guys will have a classic Game 7. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. I think, we got with Minaya going tonight. I think we have a good shot. And then game 7, who knows? Anything can happen.
That's true. That's true. Well, let's get into cards of the week. Mark, what you want to go last, or how do you want to do this?
No, I'll go. Yeah, I'll go last, and I can run into that bag. Yeah, you guys go ahead first.
Okay, Andrew, you go ahead and show us what you got, man.
Great. I will start off. First of all, I want to say thank you guys for inviting me to be on here. It's really a pleasure. And I've chatted with both of you for over a year now. First time we've actually spoken, which is interesting and fun. And I'm
Right.
really excited to get into this. So here we go. I'm going to start with my favorite player. I actually just got this week. Greg, you've seen this already.
Yeah.
Mike Schmidt, rookie card. It's an 8. Shout out to Michael Chang for hooking me up with this. He gave me a pretty good deal on it, and it's something I've been looking for a while. Um, Mike Schmidt's my favorite player. I'm a Met fan, but Mike Schmidt's my favorite player. It makes no sense, but part of it was when I was a kid, I wrote I wrote letters to. I was about 11 or 12, and I wrote letters to a bunch of baseball players. Mike Schmidt was the only one who got back to me with a personalized letter, signed my card, which, believe it or not, I don't have that card anymore, which I don't know why. I just don't. But signed my card, give me a beautiful letter. I do have the letter, and it's legit. It's not like a stamped letter or whatever. I posted it on the page before, so some folks might have seen it. But Mike Schmidt, it's a beautiful card. It's
Yeah,
beautifully
man.
centered.
Man,
Love
hey.
it.
Yeah, yeah, and you
Love
you
that one.
told me when you got
Uh,
that, and you that was a good use of your winnings. So good for you, man.
oh, right, yeah. I had a little casino winning, poker winning a couple weeks ago, and and I was like, well, I'm going to treat myself.
Yeah, that's
It
good.
worked out.
That's a good one.
So my next one is 76 Gary Carter. It's a not as well.
Uh-oh.
Not as well, but it's a 9. Love that card. I actually just love the card. Just love it. It's a beautiful card. Uh, this one is a Hank Aaron, one of Mark's faves,
No, there you go.
57, or
Awesome.
Absolutely.
58 actually, 58 Aaron. The color just pops on this. It's beautifully centered. I just love an old Hank card like this. This was what the first like 50s card I ever bought, really. I really love this card. This is like what you guys call like graveyard or whatever what do you call your cards that you go in the grave with? Grave cards, graveyard cards, whatever.
Yeah,
That's what this is for me. I'm never selling this card.
nice, nice. That is a beautiful one. That 58 really pops the green. I love it.
Yeah, yeah, it's really now this next one, Greg, you actually had one of these last week, I believe. You were showing off as one of yours, but the greatest moments.
Yeah, yeah.
So I got a Bob Gibson, greatest moments. Love, I mean, I just love these cards. They're and in an SGC, which and I'll be honest with you, I know you're a big SGC guy. I'm not for the most part. Just for me, it's more about value. I just don't think that SGC holds the value that PSA does from what I've seen. So I like to hold the value of the card, and I actually sent this in at SGC just because I know it would look. I didn't care about the value on this one. It just said I know it would look so damn good in here. So
Sure.
I'm a little disappointed with the grade it got, but I don't. Again, this is a graveyard card. I don't care.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
I love the
Yeah,
card.
it's beautiful.
That was a great. I don't like PSA. Just I think their slabs look like shit. To be honest with you, I mean, you say all that. That's just being flat
That's
out honest.
fair.
I
I
think
can't argue with you.
that
I
their
can't argue
slabs
with you.
look terrible, and for undersized cards, they were a joke. The way they used to flop around, and I don't know, they put that. It looked like a Saran wrap inside of the case, and so I just don't like the look of it. Obviously, until there was a challenger to the throne, so to speak, yeah, you got to get PSA. But now with that second option, I like the way that they look better with the SGC.
Right. No, that's fair. All fair points. You're right, and I agree with you. I think SGC does look better.
Mhm.
I agree with you. I
I
know.
mean,
I know.
Yeah,
Greg,
yeah.
you're more of a value. If you're more of a investor collector, then obviously I think PSA
right.
because all of your big time investors, and by the look of the cards behind you, I could see that you're probably, you're not, you don't care about the money, but it's a little more of a matter to you. So me, I don't care. I mean, I'm not a money guy. So I got things in like comic book creating
Right.
things for crying out loud, like golden and
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I've got one more card,
all right,
guys.
go ahead, yeah.
This one by value is is definitely the lowest. And I would argue that it's the lowest value card you've ever had as a card of the week. But
All
this
right.
card has so much value to me personally, and I'll tell a little story about it.
Yeah.
It's a 1980 Mike Lum,
All right.
number
In a
card number
one
7.
touch.
And in a one touch, that's right.
Nice.
A 5-cent card in a one touch.
Let's straighten it
And
up.
the story behind this card is when I first got into baseball cards with my best friend Chris. He's still my best friend to this day. We met in 5th grade, and we both big baseball fans, and we decided to collect the 1980 set, buying quarter packs at the deli or at the corner store or the candy store. Spent all summer, spring and summer, buying packs, buying packs. We had the whole set except this card.
Oh,
This is
wow.
so.
Mike Plum.
So Michael, so I actually got him one. I've given him one. I actually gave him a frame a few years ago with every Mike Lum card in it. That's a joke for his
Awesome.
birthday.
Was there like 6?
No, there's actually more. I think he
Really?
came up to 70 or 71. He's
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, that's cool.
Awesome.
actually 67. So it was longer than that. Yeah.
Wow.
He had a long career, but
Mike Plum had quite a career, huh?
yeah, mostly with the Braves, a little bit of Reds, and then he
Yeah.
went back to the Braves. But yeah, he was like 240 hitter, light hitter. I don't know much about him, to be honest with you. I'm reading the back of his card. But yeah, so Mike Lum, this stays with me forever. Just it's a great story, if anything else. That's why I like it. So
Outstanding, man. Well,
All right, Greg.
I have a real quick thought on the SGC versus PSA thing, and I don't think there's any question for most people that SGC looks better. It just does. I mean, there's no way around that. As far as value, I think the bridge has narrowed, or the gap has narrowed a little over the last couple years. But I get both sides. I mean, if you're like with my Yastrzemski, the flip side is I've never sent a single card to be graded. I've always bought them. So I feel like I'm paying the right market value for SGC versus PSA, and I should be able to get out of those if and when the need arises at some point in the future. So, I mean, for me, if I'm sending something off and I'm trying to maximize the value, I'm going to go with PSA probably. If it's PC or just something I'm going to keep for a while, I'm probably going to send it to SGC. So I get both sides.
Right.
But I mean, if it's a money thing, PSA is probably still your best bet. But sometimes it is about the money and sometimes it's not. So I get it. But anyway, really cool cards. And I'm gonna whip through mine real quick so we can get on to other stuff. But Mark, you sent me some good cards this week. This one here, it's oh God, what is this called?
Number.
I had it. Meaningful Material. Meaningful Material is a 2024 Topps Museum Yastrzemski with a piece of his bat on the back, numbered 94 out of 99. This is just amazing, man. So this is one I actually might make my first submission to SGC.
Right.
So we'll see.
That'd be worth it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to sleeve that back up. And then this one here, I didn't even realize this was like a clear card, so I don't want to keep handling it because it's already got my fingerprint on it. But it's a Tua Tagovailoa. I think it's 2020 maybe, a rated rookie, the Chronicles clear card, so you can see right through it. So that's really cool too. And I'm sure that's got to have some – that might be my second card I send to SGC. And then this one here, hoping he has a big game. He's back from injury today, is a Devon Achane rated rookie as well. So those three, and then those three are my cards of the week. And then Mark, you also sent me some Empire Strikes Back cards.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. Lando's warm. This one is the landing. So I'm assuming that's the Falcon. And then Lando's warm reception before they froze him. So yeah, that's Lando Calrissian, Billy D. Williams. So I really appreciate those, Mark. I really do. And I'm gonna just let you do your thing because I'm anxious to see what's in these little bags.
All right, yeah. So my cards of the week, really quick. So prior to yesterday, it was a completely different direction, but I had like 5,000 cards, about 50 pounds of tonnage come, as we like to say, and I started ripping through it, and holy cow, there's some great things. But real quick, I won't show them all. I picked up the Empire Strikes Back sticker set. I have all the stickers. Yeah, so I'm not going to show them individually just to speed it up. So I got all the stickers for Empire Strikes Back.
Was that in the tonnage or that's other stuff?
It was the same place.
Oh wow.
No. Wow. I got this from Marco Martinez, who we hope to have on the show in the next couple of weeks. I got this Ferguson Jenkins auto.
That's cool.
Usually I have these nonsensical weirdo autos that are my cards of the week. So this week I actually have a banging Hall of Famer. Ferguson Jenkins, and so
he recently passed, right? Did Fergie pass, or is he still around?
He's still around.
Is he? Okay.
Unless I missed it. So then in my tonnage, so yesterday, so anyways, people that don't know, I'll put some pictures of it in the show. The cards, and they all showed up in like bags like this, and people are freaking out, and I put it on their page. I'm like, look, people, this isn't like Rad Frauds, that guy that's pretending to get cards. And you get cards like that in bulk, they're for people. These aren't baseball card sellers. These aren't baseball card people. They get them out in the baseball cards. How you buy it for cheap is because they're not baseball card people, and they're going to dump it in the friggin' box, and you take your chances, and you just hope that if there's something good, that it's in the middle and not on the outside where it gets wrapped up. So, and it's mostly mid-90s stuff, and there's some modern, but there's some cool stuff in there. Ricky Henderson 93 Topps Finest, the first year of that, which is really cool. And Kevin Durant rookie card, so that's cool. I was looking for one for my PC, so I'm going to keep that. And then I'm going to send this to SGC. I don't care about value. It doesn't matter to me. It's going to look really awesome. And then I don't know. I've had like 15 people ask to buy this over in the last like few hours. So this is in there along with a bunch of other Michael Jordans, but I got this Jordan Generations Topps Finest Chrome or something like that from back in the day. So
make sure you wipe that off with the microfiber before you send it.
Yeah, I'm gonna send it, and I'm gonna put it back in here because that was in a top loader actually. So there's a lot of cards in the top loader, but I have had like 15 people offer to buy that, and I'm not selling it, so I'm gonna send it to get graded. But, I think it's at least an 8, maybe a 9. There's no way to be a 10. It can't be, but that's cool. But that was in the tonnage.
Heck yeah.
So And then so I have one of the bags here. And this is kind of an idea. So everything was in like 2,500 count boxes, and I thought they'd send them in the box, but they didn't. So everything's kind of like, I don't want to pour out, but stacked up in these bags, you know.
Oh God.
So we're gonna pull through these. Unfortunately, most of them were alphabetized. So I'm just gonna go real quick.
They were
File.
alphabetized.
You
Oh,
guys can do a little talking while I'm gonna rifle through here and see if we get any. But this is basically what we're looking at. So
all right.
I'm liable to get Ronnie Cycli, probably Ronnie Cycli, Ronnie Cycli, Ronnie Cycli. Anybody need Ronnie Cycli? Who's Aaron Cisse, Shamgad Shabazz? I mean, that's pretty cool. You know, I'm gonna keep that and put that.
He's a New York playground legend, man.
Yeah, just because that looks cool. I dig it. So Shamgad. All right. Okay. God Shamgad. I like that. I'm keeping
God Shamgad. That's
God
him.
Shamgad. Brian Shaw. Brian Shaw. Brian Shaw. Brian Shaw. Magic. Brian Shaw. Brian Shaw. Brian Shaw. Holy Brian Shaw. Oh my God. So this is what you get, people, when you buy lots like this. So just to give you an idea, let me get past God Shamgad. All right, so Brian Shaw. So these are all Brian Shaw cards. So, you know, are there any cool?
That's where they are.
Yeah,
Right.
you were looking for them, weren't you, Andrew? You were missing them. I got them all. I've got the market cornered. Now, I will say that I really like 94, 95 Fleer basketball as a base normal card looking, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. They look a lot like the 93, 94 Fleer. Which I thought those like the 93, 94 basketball, the Ultra and the hoops and the Fleer in 94, I thought those all looked pretty good.
Well, I forgot. I got a Kobe last night in that pile. So that's a second-year Kobe, which I like better than the rookie card. So
yeah,
that's cool. That was in there.
Mark, was it all mixed like sports? Everything you got?
It was. What's funny is I would not have got it the lot. It was predominantly basketball. I'm gonna say like 80% basketball. There's a little bit of vintage baseball, and then like the other things were in there. Like we showed the Frank Sinatra autograph and the Hank Aaron. This is an autograph picture.
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, so this is an auto, Hank auto, Frank Sinatra auto. There's some really cool stuff in there like that. There wasn't a lot of baseball, but Billy Williams auto, and that's got the certification with it and all that stuff. So, I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff. And then I'll send you this. You can have this, Andrew. I'll put this in the mail for you because Lord knows you've done enough. So people don't realize Andrew is like a humongous supporter of Room 6 and what we do and what I do with the kids. So I'm glad he's on the show today. So I'm going to send that to you for everything you've done for me, Andrew. So
thanks, man.
That's a World Series ticket. That was part of that. I'll get that in the mail to you today. That's a ticket.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
That's the 2000 World Series. And
I was there. Well, I was at Game 4. I was at the only game they won.
So I will send that to you today.
Game 3,
So that's yours.
Thank you. That's great, man. Appreciate it.
All right.
Were you at the one where Piazza threw the bat at Clemens?
No, that was at Yankee Stadium. That was Game 2, I believe. I was at Game 3. I want to say it was 3. It was the only one the Mets won I was at.
Right.
Franco came in and got the save. I was at that game and gave us the sliver of hope.
Yeah.
Was dashed. So to expand a little more on my Met Yankee, my wife's a Yankee fan. So I was on the couch. I always tell people I was on the couch for a week in 2000, and I could be on the couch next week, depending on how things go.
Well, yeah, that's I remember that series. I just remember Clemens and Piazza mostly.
Yeah.
That was crazy. But I don't want to get away from Mark. Are you still?
You guys just keep shooting it. I'm just looking at a bunch of nothing here.
Okay. Well, yeah, I wasn't. Boston sucked at the time. We had Pedro, which was great. He was really good that year. But yeah, there could be a repeat of the Mets Yankees, and that's always interesting because I'm sure it divides a lot of households. So
around here it does. Yeah, and not to mention friends. Like I have a bunch of friends over here who are Yankee fans. Some friends who are fans. So it's a whole. I play poker with a bunch of guys, and it's split 50-50. So there's going to be a lot of trash talking the next few weeks, if we get there.
Yeah, if you get there. What okay, so you live on the New Jersey side of the East River. Is that right, or the
Yeah, that's
Hudson
right.
River?
I'm in New Jersey. I'm in Lyndhurst, New Jersey. I'm about 3 miles from Giant Stadium.
Okay, East
Uh,
Rutherford.
I'm
Yeah,
about I'm about 6, 7 miles to New York City, so I'm really, really close to New York.
right, right. And you've been there for a long time, huh?
No, not really. I've only been here for about 4 years. Born and raised
Okay,
in Brooklyn, lived in the
gotcha.
Poconos for 18 years, and then now I'm back in New Jersey. So
That's cool. That's
yeah,
cool. Well, we'll let Mark finish up with his, and then you mentioned there's some things you wanted to get into, so we'll get into that with you. Some things you've observed in the selling and buying world. So we'll get into that.
sure.
That seems to be an interesting topic for everybody to talk about. So, Mark, what else you got, man?
Anybody need Steve Smith? I got a lot of Steve Smith. Steve Smith, Steve Smith, Steve Smith, Steve Smith,
It's all
You're in the
S's.
Steve
This
Smith.
bag is all S's.
yeah, right.
Yeah,
He's in
well,
the
that's
S's for sure.
fortunately they were alphabetized, so if they're not alphabetized, it can really make you go crazy. Oh, these are cool. Look at this. I mean, this guy is nobody, but this heritage like 52 tops
Oh wow,
baseball in the basketball form. So that's pretty neat.
I've
That
never
is
seen
pretty
that. Yeah,
cool.
So that's what's cool. Sometimes when you buy these mountains of cards, is I've seen a lot of cards that I had no idea even existed. So,
Right. Well,
yeah,
and as you can see by pulling that Jordan, all it takes is one for you to get your money back and then
yeah,
some.
yeah. I
and
wanted to ask
then
you,
yeah.
Mark. Do you think you're like, are you net positive on this batch? You think, or with money?
Oh, yeah. Even
Yeah.
without the Jordan, big
Oh, that's
time.
great. I mean, the Sinatra autograph is very interesting to me. I'm
Yeah, it's
curious what
interesting
that
for
would be
sure.
worth. Yeah.
Hey, Craig, Dennis Scott rookie, Magic.
Nice.
You like the Magic. Yeah, generally what you find, so what made this interesting is that the rate of tonnage that went in the bin is significantly lower. I want to say so it's over 5,000 cards, well over 5,000, but I probably could have kept about 1,500 of them, and I'll end up keeping maybe 1,000 of the cards just because I just don't feel like dealing with a lot of the quarter cards and stuff anymore. So, but yeah, the rate of keep was really high in comparison to what it usually is. So, generally when I get these, I don't make once in a while you'll get one where you'll go like 10x, 15x over what you put in. But usually if I go 3, 4x on what I buy for it, it's pretty good.
Great.
You know, it's generally. So if I spend like 25, 30 bucks, I get back 100, 120. That's a good day. You know,
Do you usually trash all the commons you don't want, or you
the commons
donate them
just
back
go
to
right in the
Goodwill? Or
garbage. They
yeah,
just right in the trash because I'm not monkeying around with it. I'm not gonna people are like, oh, I'm trying to build sets, this, that, and the other thing. It's just I don't have the time,
no, that's
everything
yeah,
I
it's
got
time
going on.
consuming. Yeah.
Yeah, if I wasn't teaching and this and that, I would probably keep them and try to help people out with building their sets.
I
So
tend to do that with my when I buy big lots.
right.
Any really damaged cards that are commons, I just don't have the patience or the the desire to keep them and try to sell them, and so it's just like they're so worthless to me.
And
Like
then I don't want them laying around because Mrs. Ford's always really awesome, and I try to keep things tight. What is cool, and I haven't looked up, so here we go. I have a lot of these. I know that these early WNBA cards could have some value. Like I did get a Cheryl Miller card and a Cheryl Swoops out in here, so I haven't looked those up, but that's really cool. I mean, you're talking early WNBA, so
Absolutely no
I'm gonna,
idea.
yeah, I'm gonna put
yeah,
Andrea Stinson aside. If
I
nothing
didn't
else.
even know they existed.
All right, so if nothing else, this is a 2001. If nothing else, I can try to get her address for TTM, and she can have. I'll send one and ask her to keep one. So that's cool. I'm gonna put that aside, and
That is cool.
yeah. So the ones that I have double. Obviously, you can see there's I mean have Brian Stith, Brian Stith, Brian Stith, Brian Stith. So that's about. I don't think I'm gonna hit anything. I'm gonna finish going through the
Will he
back.
ever make it out of the S's?
No, I mean I did get a Thurman Thomas. What was that Fleer 91? So that's pretty cool, Thurman
Yeah.
Thomas. No, but I'll finish up. You guys can move on to our next, and I'll pay attention here while I'm doing this.
All right. So Andrew, I messaged you the other day and said, hey, think of
Yep.
some stuff you want to talk about. Because this
Yeah,
really,
cool.
when we have guests, I don't know about you, Mark, but when we have guests, I kind of want to steer towards where the guest is
Oh,
actually talking.
absolutely.
So, Andrew, why don't you get into some things that you were talking about?
Sure.
You
I
know,
know this happened to me yesterday, so this is perfect.
all right.
When as a seller, when you put a lot out there or a card out there, and then people comment on your post, they have no interest in buying. They have no interest in making an offer. They just want to make a derogatory comment about it, like, "Oh, your price is too high," or And I got that yesterday from somebody, and basically, it's just really infuriating that people would do that. Even if my cards, which I don't think my lot was priced high, but even if it was, just keep scrolling, man.
Right.
No need to try to blow up my sale or anything, because then you may have someone who may not know, and it may deter them to put an offer on it or to buy it, thinking that and these people don't know. Sometimes they don't have the right information, or they don't know what the. So I basically my response to them and this has been my uh just the response I use every time now is just, hey, listen, either claim, offer, or keep scrolling. Just that's
Right.
no need to
Yeah.
comment on stuff.
Well, I agree with you, and I think a lot of people just don't have anything better to do. Or feel like they need to be the card police. We deal with
Right.
that a lot as admin. People just commenting off the cuff. If you're not, the rule even states on our page, if you're not a participant in this auction, don't say anything. You
Right.
know,
Exactly.
I, it's one thing if it's a scam or you feel like somebody's not who they say they are or something like that. But when you're just, I mean, you say you're listing a lot of 72 tops for $100 and somebody thinks it should be 60. I mean, who are you? It's
Right.
maybe somebody really wants that. I mean, Mark, do you have any thoughts on that?
I think a lot of times you encounter it where people have to prove that like they're the smartest person in the room. I think that's a mentality, especially people our age. It seems to be more prevalent. They
Yeah,
like to prove that they're the smartest guy in the room and
Yeah.
pontificate, and whether it's about sports, cardboard, life in general, politics, anything. So I think there's people in our age group, sadly, uh, they need to be, show how smart they are, I think. And
That's a really good point, Mark. That definitely rings true, I think.
and it just kind of carries over and everything. And so me, I'm in a minority. I like that discourse, so to speak, the agree to disagree, as long as you do it respectfully. So it doesn't really bother me if somebody comes at me, because either I'm going to say no or I'm going to be playful and have some fun with it, because I don't really mind, as long as when they start MFing me and all that stuff, then we draw the line. But as long as you present your points respectfully and
Right.
intelligently. But like what Greg gets, and I've gotten it. Immediately they go to the inflammatory and the language and this and that, and they're the smartest guy in the room, and they're going to show you, and I think that's where a lot of it stems from. And then
yeah,
too, it's socially awkward, not to typecast, but I'm out and about. A lot of people in collectibles. There's an awkwardness, I think, too, about it. They don't really understand how to interact. So
Yeah, I could see that. I
yeah.
could see
Those
that.
are all really good points. I think you're right. I think there's no question that people our age, especially, you know, Gen X, maybe even, we're kind of
yeah.
the forgotten generation, and I think we want to beat our chest and be heard, and um yeah, it's just and there's definitely a thing that you just said, Mark, that rings true with the hobby, collectibles. Most collectibles, there's some weirdos.
I said awkward, but yes, slightly.
We can all raise our hands right now, the three of
Right,
us.
right. I mean,
Right,
hey,
right,
whatever.
right.
But no, you wouldn't believe some of the stuff I get. I'll reach out to somebody in an admin role and just immediately just just pop off, and I'm like, God, okay, bye. I'm just trying to enforce the
Right.
rules, and people just freak out. So it's crazy, but
I have one guy who's done it to me, and I'm not giving his name out, but 3 or 4 times at least. I've had something for sale, and he puts, "I'm interested." That's it. I'm like, great, glad you're interested.
It's
And
like
then,
the post
and
sale
then-
W guys. I used
right,
to like.
and then,
I would
yeah,
give them things. I'd be like, "Hey, I'm going to send you some cards because obviously, you're not able to participate, but you're still watching even though the sale's over. So let me send you something in the
right.
mail." And then they would think I was playing with them. I'm like, no, no, for real. I'm gonna send you something because I like to have fun with it.
Now, you'd also mentioned something about lowballing, and I don't know
Yeah.
if you want to get into that, but
I'll touch on it briefly. And you guys covered this last week
yeah,
with Alex, I know. So, and that's another thing. Like, you want to make an offer on something, don't offer half price, what
right,
I have it
right,
for. You know what I mean?
yeah,
I will price some things a little bit high just because I know people are going to offer anyway.
yeah,
And this is a perfect example. This happened to me yesterday as well. I had a lot out there that was fairly priced. Somebody came, I had it priced for $70. Somebody came in at 50, offered 50. And it was like an hour into it when I had to post it. So I waited and I basically told him, listen, I can't do 50. So he PMs me and he's like, can you do 60? And I didn't answer because I'm like, I know this lot's worth 70. I'm going to wait. Sure enough, an hour later, somebody bought it for 70.
yeah.
So I texted him back and I'm like, sorry, dude. It went for full price. And then he starts sending me lists like, do you have any more? I'm like, dude, I don't pull lists. I'm not right away. I could tell the guy was a pain. I'm like, I'm not dealing with this.
Yeah, Mark, you made a really good point a few minutes ago with the lists. I mean, I get requests for set filling
Oh,
probably
yeah.
3 or 4 times a day. I don't have time
Yeah.
for that, man.
It's not worth it though either, because so as an example, with the car, you know how many hours I got into this, like just going through what's good. And now, so here, I'm glad you brought that up. It's a perfect segue. Okay, Greg. So just say some crazy chance a guy is a Damon Stoudemire collector, right? So now, okay. So now I go to
Damon
rifle,
Stoudemire.
you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
now I got all these Damon Stoudemire cards. So not only have I gone through 50 pounds of tonnage to find these Damon Stoudemire cards,
he's actually pretty good.
now I have to look through these 5,000, well, these probably 50, 75 Damon Stoudemire cards to find the one that he wants. And for what? A nickel, a dime, a quarter? I mean, that's why. See ya to the bin. No offense, but if people want this, it's out there. Go do
Right.
it. Go after
Right.
it. Go get it. Hunt
And
the
the
auction
things,
sites. Go to Goodwill. Go on
the
Facebook
issue, yeah,
Marketplace.
the issue I've had with the list pulling. I don't know when I first started. I've been only selling about a year and a half, and when I first started, and I had a few lots. I was looking to sell and I didn't know. And I'm like, all right, I'll help some guys out. And there are people out there who post like what they're looking for. Like they'll post on one of the groups like, hey, I'm looking for 76 commons. Here's my list. What do you have? So I pinged one of the guys, somebody who did this, and I'm like, listen, I have them. I'll pull for you and I'll let you know. And I pull them. I do all this work. I pull like 300 cards for the guy. And then he goes, and I tell him what I want, which was fair. And it wasn't a price thing. He's like, oh yeah, I don't really have the money to spend right now. And I'm like, why are you wasting my time putting it out there? Tell me
Right,
that.
right.
So
Yeah,
I gave
I've
up
had
doing
that.
lists. I don't do it anymore.
I don't either. And I mean, if it's somebody I've been talking to for a while, like there's a guy right now that I'm pulling some 77 football for. I've been talking to him for a year now. So
Right.
if it's
That's different.
somebody,
Yeah.
yeah, it's totally different. But yeah, if you just got some rando reaching out to you saying, "Hey man, I saw your sale and you got any more 70 commons?" I'm just like, yeah, I don't really break them out like that, man. So I'm probably not your guy,
Right.
you
You
know.
need that lift shrimp? Y'all need a deadlift shrimp? That's just I have about 47 more, but if you need some,
Oh man, this is great. You're buried in the S's still, Mark.
yeah. So but yeah, it's fun, right?
Yeah. I don't know, man. So, and the last thing you said you want to talk about, Andrew, my voice is cracking like a 13-year-old, but the last thing you said you want to talk about was single card auctions for cheap crap cards, which
Oh,
happens all the time. Oh my God. Mark,
it's it's
oh,
my absolute.
hold on, Andrew. Hold that thought. Mark, did you get any more bids for that trio card?
It's up to $6.
All right, thank God. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, good.
One of the rare cards. Again, it's not like super rare, like priceless, but like rare. Hey, hello. If you're a basketball person, you might want this. I mean, I wasn't expecting to get $1 million for it. Maybe 15, $20, but
Right, right. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go take a look at that when I get out of here. when we get done.
It's
Anyway, go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, it's one of the things that just really annoys me because it clogs up all the feeds on all the car. Greg, I think you and I are similar. We spend a good part of the day just like kind of flipping through Facebook and looking at see what's out there. And there were a couple of guys. We know who the culprits are, who the main guys are, that just single card, $3 cards, dollar card, 50-cent cards. Ryan Sandberg 85 All-Star card.
Yeah.
A 50-cent card. Auction, really? Group them
Right.
all in a big claim sale. What are you doing?
Yeah, that's a classic case of, hey, these people, a lot of people don't realize, and I think, inching down the age path that we're all inching down, I think as you get older, hopefully you start to realize that your time is more valuable than a 50-cent 1985 Ryan Sandberg All-Star card. But some of these people just don't get it. And maybe it's, I don't know, maybe they have 40 cards and they're just trying to.
Yeah. And when you bump your post 6 times in a day, that should tell you that you didn't price it right or the demand isn't there for the card,
Right. Yeah, that's those you lock those up in a claim sale every time. There's no question. Right. Mark, I think it's great that you've moved away from the quarter sales, man.
I'm done with it. It achieved its purpose. I was talking to Mrs. Ford one day, and I said I'm done with it. As a matter of fact, I was in on that mantle hard, man. That Dandy Farms mantle. It went up to 225, and I just knew that was probably the low end of what I'd get on a resale, so I pulled out. But no, I'm done with it. It achieved its purpose. It bought me a whole lot of Hank Aaron's, Luke Easter's, Andre Dawson's, and things like that. So,
right on.
It's so much work. It's so much work for low
but
value
it was
cards.
worth it, and it was fun for a while. And it's like everything, the law of diminishing returns. It just became the law of diminishing returns. You eat that. Me and my daughter went to see the Stones, and it was amazing. And we may or may not have had. We were sitting up high, so it was going out to the Stones concert. So we were really hungry. So on our way home, we hit this McDonald's, and I had the best Big Mac I ever had in my life. And I've been chasing that Big Mac the rest of my life, the law of diminishing returns. So that first one was amazing. The second one was pretty good, but by the 4th or 5th Big Mac, it starts to taste like shit. So
I don't know, man.
I call that the law of diminishing returns. So you spend your life chasing that, but it did good for me for like a year and a half, and I got a lot of cool stuff, and it was fun, and then it ceased to be fun. So I think about the time of the dollar Luke Skywalker rookie card is when I started to think it might be time to refocus my energies on a different level.
I still do 50-cent sales. I just have so many of those cards. I really just want to get rid of them. Number one. They're popular. Like people love it. People will buy 100 of them. They love it.
Yeah. And your 50-cent sales are good though. It's when you see the 50-cent sales where it's got like
commons
cards that should
it's a 1982 Steve Bedrosian,
Right.
Yeah, right.
Like really, why,
I try to offer some value in mine. That's one thing.
No, your sales are good. You got it going on. You know what you're doing. You're awesome. And I'll throw in like maybe 1 or 2 little quarter lots in the sale, just and I'll put, hey, nostalgia, here we go down memory lane, just to have fun with it. But generally, 50 cents is the bottom line now. So
I have a box of quarter cards that I just don't know what I'm going to do with.
What I've been doing, this is what you should do, and I've been killing it. With this. Is I fill a 300 count box and I sell it for anywhere between $25, $35, and people love it, man. They go like that, and I don't even care. I just rifle through real quick. Try to make sure there's not dupes. There's going to be a couple just because you're dealing with junk wax and all that. And what I try to do is I'll throw a couple cards of some value, like the one box I had, like Smoltz rookie, Biggio rookie, Johnson rookie, Glavine rookie. So then you got, and they're all Hall of Famers and stars in the box. So, but then you got 296 other stars and Hall of Famers. But at least so you get your value. The last one I had some 50 Bowman in there and stuff like that. So that'd be something to do. Just fill up a 300 count box and just hey, $25, $30 and you're gone.
Let me steal your idea, Mark.
Do it. No, it's open for anybody.
I'll send you a kickback on it.
No. But like you're getting instant collection too. So there are a lot of people. Again, we're in that age group where we lived it, we've been through it, and we understand, the cards and where to get them and where to find them and what the cards from that era. If you're a younger person now getting into it, you don't really have that frame of reference. So they gobble it up, man. I put
Right.
those up and they're gone. Like Greg says, well, that'll be gone in about 10 minutes. And I just keep the price, anywhere from like 25, $35. And because you're talking, a dime a
Yeah.
card,
Yeah.
8 cents a card, a dime a card. And then I make sure that they get their value on something. I'll put a couple decent cards in there.
I need to find somebody who'll pay me for 300 count box of Kurt Schilling rookies.
How
I've got them.
about Biggio?
Oh, well, I kind of put a moratorium on Donruss Biggio buying about
What
2
about
years
Larkin?
ago.
You had that big Larkin lot a little while ago.
Hey, that thing sold though,
You
man.
sold it,
It
yeah.
did. It
Yeah.
did.
I got a lot of comments on that picture because it was 485 Barry Larkin rookies.
I got the Joe Smith market covered right here. Anybody need
He was a
Smith?
warrior, right? He was pretty good.
Yeah, he was good, but again, am I going to keep this? No. So
We got any shout outs this week, you guys? We're kind of just riffing here, man. This is funny.
it's a good show. Yeah.
Yeah.
So shout out for me to Andrew. Thank you for coming on, and thank you, Billy Bean, for getting Amari Cooper for the Buffalo Bills. So and always you, Greg.
What? Billy Bean is? I thought he was a baseball.
Or Brandon Bean. I'm sorry, Brandon Bean. Billy Bean, baseball. Brandon Bean, the Bills. So yeah. So Brandon Bean, thanks for getting the Cooper. And
so is Cooper actually suiting up and playing?
Oh
today?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that limited troglodyte playbook you guys run, I'm sure he picked it right up. So
yeah, it is pretty limited, but effective. So.
Andrew, do you have any shout outs, Andrew?
You know what? I'm just going to do a general shout out to the whole SOCC community because I think it's a good group. We have a lot of fun. And, I think this little podcast or whatever you want to call this thing, show is great. It's very relaxed. It's, you guys are interesting. There's always interesting stuff comes up. And I really enjoy watching it. And I'm really honored to be on here. And nice to finally meet you guys, like, sort of meet you.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I don't know why we haven't done this before, but we're Mark and I have talked a little bit. There's only so much two old dudes can talk about with each other. So having some guests, whether it be
having a third old dude in there is a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, but having guests on more, I think probably lends to a little different perspective sometimes. So I think it's been good, and I think it's been a net positive for the show. And Mark, it seems like you're a little more excited about it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah, we're having a good time.
Yeah.
So, I just, I got a lot going on. Like Andrew, they say we talk about the kids at school. Man, that could be a grind. Some kids, and then when those kids start achieving, they're like the little birds in the nest. It's more. It's like, oh my God, kids. So
I give you a lot of credit, Mark, because out of people I know, I mean, you're one of the people who what you do for a living changes people's lives. I know what I do doesn't.
No, you're part of the team, though.
Yeah.
I got Cravotta corner in the room, so
well, don't worry, I'm going to keep adding to it.
And those cards go home with them by the end of the year at some point. Matter of fact, I had a kid. He just took a card the other day. He'd been sleeping for a month, and they sent him to me, and I'm like, hey, what the heck? So the teachers like, can you do something with this kid? And I'm like, all right. So I sat down next to him. They're like, how did you get that kid to doing this? I sat next to him for an hour.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I sat next to him, like,
I wouldn't be able to sleep if you sat next to me for an hour, Mark.
Let's go. Because, I'm and then when we were done, I said, give me an hour. And we finished a bunch of stuff. And I said, now go take a card. He's like, what? I'm like, take anything you want except for that Star Wars card. So,
yeah.
So that's great show.
Today. You do, man. And from what you've been telling me, Mark, the numbers are just blowing everybody. You're like, we were talking the other day. You're like the Hudson Bay and all the other teachers in the Great Lakes.
It's not even. It's amazing. And now I have a class in the afternoon. Dude, we just started the afternoon class on Tuesday. And we already closed 8 classes. So
I know somewhat of the context of what that means, but that's awesome.
Right.
That's
we're over 100. We got 108 in the morning now, and we just started the afternoon. We got 8. So we're well in the dynasty mode. So we're gonna We haven't even hit the gas pedal. So once we hit the gas pedal, it's going to be unbelievable. I think we started the gas pedal this week because I was tired.
Well, good for you, man. Good for you. Andrew, wishing the best for the Mets tonight. I don't have a dog in the fight. I think it'd be cool to see a Subway Series, but I also think it'd be cool to see Ohtani in the World Series. So, just hoping for some good games. And since I don't have a dog and you're my dog for the Mets, go Mets.
And
I appreciate that. We'll take all the help we can get.
Right.
I'm happy either way as a Met fan, to be honest with you. This season's been full of surprises and beyond my wildest expectations. So we'll take it.
And I'm just wondering, Mark, I would say good luck Bills, but I can't. But we'll see what happens with Amari Cooper today, man. See if he can assimilate and see if Josh Allen knows what to do with an actual receiver. So we'll see. But
right on. So I'm going to say I don't really care because the Dolphins are no threat to me. So go Dolphins.
Ouch.
And go Mets and go Bills.
The vitriol has ramped up a little with the Dolphins and the Bills here. Now this is a must-win game for us today. So I'm just glad
everybody.
I'm glad they're not starting Flacco.
What's that?
I said I'm glad that the Colts are not starting
Flacco.
Flacco.
Why would they not start Flacco? They don't want to win. They're going to put Richardson in. He's going to get hurt in the second quarter, and then it's going to be over. That's why I said go Dolphins. They're giving you the game.
Yeah.
So.
Well, everybody have a good Sunday. Andrew,
Dwayne Shinsis loves you. Dwayne Shinsis loves everybody. So I'm saying goodbye with my good friend Dwayne Shinsis and that awesome mullet, and he was something else. So everybody have a great week, and we will see you next weekend. And thank you again, Andrew, for joining the show.
My pleasure.
Bye, everybody.